start by introducing our Distinguished Alumni Award winner for this year, Pamela Hawley. Pamela has a political science cum laude degree from Duke, which she got in 1991. Was that for the political science department? Okay, there you go. All right. And she also has a master's in international communication from the Annenberg School of Communications at USC. She's on the Duke Northern California Board and Duke Innovation and Entrepreneurship. She's part of the Duke Angel Network, which was news to me. I didn't know that Duke had an angel network. And then today, she receives the Distinguished Alumni Achievement Award from the Political Science Department. Now, Pamela is a very versatile person. She's an actress, improviser, dancer, and singer with over 100 performances in San Francisco, New York, and Los Angeles. So we have no idea actually what she's going to do when she comes up today, which one of these things. She was trained by the Groundlings in Second City, Chicago, a graduate of the Upright Citizens Brigade, and a BATS improv player. And her experience includes solo and group singing, voiceovers, sketch theater, and television. Pamela is also the founder and CEO of UniversalGiving, an award-winning nonprofit that helps people give and volunteer with vetted quality opportunities all over the world. Opportunities range from giving $25 to provide a month of meals to a child in Haiti, to volunteering with migrant children in Beijing, China. 100% of each donation to UniversalGiving goes directly to the cause. Some of Pamela's many volunteer experiences include working with microfinance in rural India, sustainable farming in Guatemala, earthquake relief work in El Salvador, and computer training in Cambodia. Pamela is the winner of the Jefferson Award and has been invited to 3 events at the White House, which was almost as exciting as coming here today, I imagine, in terms of that. UniversalGiving has been featured on the homepage of Business Week, Oprah.com, CBS, The Wall Street Journal, and The New York Times. She also writes Living and Giving, a daily blog with the mission of, quote, inspiring leaders to live with excellence and love, unquote. Please join me in welcoming Pamela Hawley.
Thank you so much for having me here today. And someone did say if I was going to ask for a suggestion from the audience and improv this talk, but that will not happen today. You are welcome to come up to me afterwards and ask me to do some improv, but we won't be doing that for this talk. I am so privileged and grateful to be a Dookie, and just want to congratulate each one of you for such a wonderful accomplishment today, not only the students, but I also want to congratulate the families that have supported students to come here to this excellent institution, and want to take a moment to thank the families and the students. Because we are going to talk a little bit about that today, not only about conquering the world that I know so many of you as students are set out to do, but also the appreciation of important things in life such as family. So I would like to start off by just saying congratulations, you've gotten a degree, an accreditation. It's a sense of a stamp of approval, if it's an endorsement that you've gotten by not only graduating from Duke, but also getting a political science degree. For political science teaches you specific skills that are excellent in how you will be able to be a great leader across the world. I know this, and one of my first things that I'm going to coach you on today are 2 don'ts that I would encourage you to do when you graduate. First is, don't do what you think you should do. Don't do what you think you should do. When I came to Duke, I thought I should be a public policy major. And I love public policy, and it's a great major. But while I was there, unfortunately for them, one of the prerequisites was political science. And I fell in love. Political science taught me how to think. It taught me to think about geopolitical relations, about how different countries might operate from different cultures, worldviews, and geopolitical relations. And with that, I fell in love and I defected. And so I became a political scientist. And that is one of the lessons I think is so important in life. You think something cookie cutter fits you. I'm service oriented, I come from a very nonprofit background. Public policy would seem to fit. but geopolitical relations and political science is what has changed my life. I have served in the earthquake crisis in El Salvador, microfinance in India, worked with the victims of Pol Pot's regime in Cambodia, and political science allowed me to take a step back and think about how the world operates and how different relationships occur all across the world and how we can create a greater sense of world peace and community. And for that, I will be eternally grateful. So I encourage you to not do what you think you should do. Do not go do the profession and the track that you think you must do. Do what is in your heart. Follow what I call my SGI, your spiritual gut instinct. It's something inside you that tells you what the right thing to do is. And if you follow that, it will help you all throughout your life, through the rest of your life. The second is, don't miss your story. Don't miss the story. You could walk by the story that will allow you to follow a passion for the rest of your life. I'll give you my story. When I was 12 years old, I was on a family vacation in Mexico, and we were there. My parents had been married 50 years, best friends with a spark, wonderful vacation. We're in a marketplace. There's silver and burritos and all the wares that they sell. And yet, in one moment of a vacation, my whole life was changed. From my father and I looked down a cul-de-sac and saw every begging, starving, maimed, dirty, unwashed child that I had ever seen at the age of 12. And it changed my life forever. I had the words unacceptable in capitals across my mind, and I started volunteering ever since. Now keep in mind, back then volunteering was not popular at all. People did not really think much about volunteering, whereas now you need to have it on your resume. Back then, if you put it on your resume, I was coached to take it off when you apply to colleges. This will not be popular. This will be seen as too-gooder or feel-goody or not something strategic at all. But I kept all my volunteer work on there because it was who I was. And I feel grateful and fortunate that Duke accepted that as part of who I am. That story led me to Universal Giving. When the web popped, I was so excited. I was like, I'm not going to travel over the world. I can create a website that allows thousands of others, scale, to get thousands of others to give and volunteer all over the world. But if I walked by the story, if I walked by the cul-de-sac, if I said, I'm too scared, it's too hard to see, I can't do this, I would not be here today. Universal Giving would not have matched 10,000 global volunteers all over the world. I would not be working on world peace and conflict resolution. Don't walk by your story. Listen and observe and see the things that impact your heart and make it your life calling. So don't do what you think you should do, according to society, and don't walk by your story. So I've given you 2 don'ts as you graduate, but I'm also going to give you 3 do's because the positives always outweigh the negatives. So I'm going to give you 3 positives to leave with. Number 1 is listen. Many of you are going to go on to become foreign dignitaries and work doing speech writing and be able, maybe even broker conflict resolution in places such as Rwanda and Cambodia and all over the world. And one of the greatest skills you can have, and I'm sure you are all excellent writers and excellent speakers and pontificators and so knowledgeable, but one of the greatest ways that you can affect the world is by listening. If you truly want to understand the conflicts and what's happened across our world, you will not get it from a book. You will not get it from your beloved professors nor from your families. You will get it by listening. You must understand the heart and journey of the people you are serving when you are brokering conflict resolution and intense negotiations across the world. It is not in a government regulation. It is not in a law. It is understanding the story of that person with whom you are speaking and the story of the community. And only then can you help to make geopolitical relations and international relations stronger between countries. So we must listen. The second is family. As accomplished as you are today, graduates, someone helped you get here. Many people did. And whatever that concept of family is for you, your beloved parents, your grandparents, a teacher, an aunt, someone who really wasn't your aunt but acted like your aunt, a sister. Those are the people you must go back and thank, and not only once. You must thank them with your lives. You must thank them with your legacy, and you are not too young to think of legacy now. You must think of now what you will be giving back to the world through your example. Thank your families continuously. That's where you come from. That's what helped get you here. And then finally, do think about a life of service. For service is not just in the nonprofit world. I'll tell you a funny story. I wrote about it. It's called Philanthropy at the Dry Cleaners. And basically what happened is I came in and I dumped all my clothes on the counter, and I'm sure there's many busy moms and people and dads who do this, and rushed off and said, please, I need this by 6, and just rushed off. And I left and I thought, you know, Pamela, are you a philanthropist from 9 to 5? Because that was not the kindest interaction. And I went back. And I now know the woman's name, Aunsi. And I take a few more seconds to acknowledge her and say, good morning, thank you for helping me. When is good for you to get the clothes back? When would be helpful for you, not what I need? And so we have a much richer, more peaceful life. And most certainly that leads to global peace if we live it in our own lives, if we can live our interactions that way. Remember this, our society has dumbed down the word philanthropy to a checkbook, to money, to giving of funds. It is not that definition. Philanthropy is the love of humanity, it is the love of people. And therefore, as leaders, as you go out, no matter what high-end job you might be leading as a speechwriter, as a broker of peace relations across the world, remember that the greatest success you will have is as a lover of people. And therefore, I encourage you now to become a philanthropist in this moment. Do not wait. So therefore, do not do what you think you should do. Do not ignore your story. Make sure you listen. Make sure you honor family. And don't forget to love people. Thank you.